welcome to this session. We're looking at investing with a number. My name is Ambrose Omodion. Yes, we're already at the peak of earnings season. We're seeing companies has already released their unaudited account for the year ended 2022. We're also looking at the audited account that just hit the market, especially from the one that came from MTN and Geregu Power. These are the audited accounts so far released to the market, and the good thing that these two companies came with what came with dividend announcement, that means corporate action. But we want to look at you and I as investor or trader, what is important in these earnings that are coming and how we should use it. When we say investing with numbers, there are three type of numbers that investors are privileged to see or have access to in the market. And look at these numbers. One, we call it numbers that emanate from what? From the company. That is the listed company itself that are just releasing the number. Then another set of number is called number that emanate from the market itself, which is the volume price that we see on the exchange. That's why I said, for those that are taking analysis, I say that volume and price speak a lot when you are taking your investment decision. Then the last one, which is called the derived number. This derived number is putting the numbers from the from the company and the exchange together to form also another number. For example, when the company release their earnings, the earnings is coming from the company activities, while the price action is determined by demand and supply force on the exchange. And that, but when it comes to derived number, we take the earnings and the price to have what we call price to earnings ratio. We have to have price to earnings, P ratio or other stuff. We get all those derived number from what? From this company's number and the market number. Especially when we say what is the P ratio. We say what is the P ratio? We are talking of the price to earnings. And this price to earnings will tell you how long, in a normal term, how long it takes you to recoup your investment. You can see the number, the type of numbers that you have access to as a investor. One number that will manage from the company, the quoted company itself, manage that manage from activities of those that the market, the buys and the supply, and also the derived number that also help us to evaluate these companies to see how long with the price and the earnings, how long we will say it's called P ratio, P ratio, because of what the price. And these are what sales to win ratio. All these are derived number from what from this three number. This number managed from company and from the market. You understand that? And also, what is important to you is that in any market cycle or market environment, there are dynamics that you need to understand. These dynamics come with what? The shareholding structure of this company, come with the number of shares in issue, come with personality that are behind this company, and also come with what? With the track record of this company and how old this company is also in existence. These are very, very key because it will help you to know exactly what is happening in the company. A company with a small small share in issue, I tell you, their earnings are supported. Also, a company also with a tight shareholding structure where the float is very small. Now, at times, it also support the price, and that stock remains stable because there's no activities. And that is why also for you to be a trader, some stock that have no volume, is difficult because they are not they are not available to you to move on. That is why I see the banking sector in Nigeria, that's like it is more volatile, let me use that language, and also more marketable and more liquid because of what they have good volume of share, and also their float is high. That's why you can see activities on those stock. And also the company also, the banks also have also been consistent in activities and also on the exchange and the payment. That can see that anytime you want to buy banking stock, another few stocks that are not the bank sector. You understand what I'm saying? This is the thing I want to share in this video. Yes, we will not take too much time, but let's understand what is basic in any system so that it will guide us to take our investment decision. Yes, back here I want to see what is important in any season or in looking at company results. The things that are important is what I want to show. Yes, there are a lot of many variables that you need to see, or many indicators or many ratios, both financial ratio and other. But the ones that are important are the ones I'm discussing right now. These are the ones that are important as to speak. One of them I'll start to talk today is revenue, top line, or sales, whatever we call it. And what do you exactly want to know here? You want to know that the current quarterly sales growth rate of this company will be 15% plus for the last 2 quarters. For annual sales or revenue growth of 15% plus over the past 3 to 5 years. Now you see top line revenue, gross premium, whatever I want to call it. For the bank, we say gross earnings. For the consumer goods, we say turnover. For other companies, we say revenue, and for insurance, we say gross premium. All these are talking about the top line of the company. Yes, the most important thing in every investor want to see. Yes, top line is very very important, but we want to see what the earnings. When we say earnings, we're looking at the profit after tax, the bottom line of this company. And we want to show so that for the profit after tax of this company, for a current quarter result, profit growth rate of 20% plus for the past 2 quarters. And also annual profit growth also rate of 20 plus over 3 to 5 years, as I've said earlier for the top one. Then also 1 year forecast of 20% plus for a forecast. Yes, it tells you that for you to say a company has done well, we are giving the criteria to say these are the things. Yes, these are few results we're expecting. With this, we know exactly company that is have done well for the last year ended 31st December 2022. Then another thing that's very very important is net profit margin. You want to know how efficient, how effective this company in managing cost, because that also show on what relationship between the relationship between relationship between relationship between this top line and the company bottom line. Yes, for profit margin, the profit margin that are increasing quarter on quarter, at least 10% plus. That is for quarter on quarter, and also profit margin that are also increasing, year on year of what of at least 10% plus. You can see most of the companies, especially in the financial sector and the other financial sector, you can see that companies and other companies, I think that most of them, in terms of profit margin, as it tells you how effective and how efficient these companies are run. Then another thing that is very important is current ratio, or what call it quick we call it the current ratio or quick asset test. These are the things you want to see if this company balance sheet is okay, it's enough, especially when you take the current assets over liability, to see if the company can meet its short-term liability, its short-term responsibility. That you must do that the assets over liability ratio must be one or above. It must be one or greater than one. That means anything below one tells that the company is struggling, or the activity that firm is trying to meet what is a short-term financial responsibility. Another one is very very important is operating cash flow. This operating cash flow tells investor if the earnings we are seeing from the company are sustainable. That is why, and after looking at the profit and loss account of the company, you look at the balance sheet, you look at what the cash flow of this company, to see that cash flow itself is divided into three. You have a cash flow for operating, cash flow for investment, and cash flow for what? For finance. You need to understand this. What I say is good to look at this operating cash flow should be also in the same direction with earnings for sustainability. Every investment is against the future, and you must understand that it is this earnings, this cash flow will tell you if the company is expanding or not. One that's also the last one that is very important is what? Return on equity. And that is what every investor wants to look at too. Because you want to know how the company you have invested are able to utilize the money you have put in that company. That's why I said this is also very well return on equity, and for at least it will be 15 plus 15% and above is for good one to say that this company is well run for any company. Yes, we want to look at the numbers that have just hit the market recently, and also activity that's behind this number, so that you know exactly what to do when it comes to taking investment decision. I tell you that price feed on earnings, but what matters is what is also the market perception of this company, or what is sentiment or the psychology of investors toward these numbers and also toward the company generally. And that is what we're going to do right now. Yes, we want to look at the result that came from Geregu. First of all, let's look at the number that managed from Geregu Power. We want to look at this company results. Yes, if you want to look at this number, you can see here for yourself. We will notice that if you look at the number that came from Geregu, I will tell you this number is below market expectation. And I will tell you this is not the first one. The third quarter result that was released in October, when it was listed around October 5th, 2022, the number also was in a decline. And this is the company that just listed newly, and the number that now released to the market are not impressive, but the price of this stock remained in the up direction. You ask yourself a question: what is the factor behind behind this movement. And I will tell you that when a company share in issue is in few hands, as we speak now, the share of the liquid that is in the market is less than 5%, about 4.4% is the one in the market. That for that, I say that the price might move whether there is result or no result. And also the personality behind these companies is also very, very important. We know the history of the chairman of this company, who has about almost 90% of the company. That's why that we are seeing an international institution coming to take about 5% of recent move. But I tell you that as we speak, most of the shares are in the world in few hands. And that will also support the share price to move. And if you look at the result that were released recently to the market, you can see that both the top line and the bottom line of this company also declined respectively by 28.18% and 11.44% down. For the top line and the bottom line to 39.00. For me, this is for the third quarter. Sorry, it dropped from the third quarter result dropped from by 28.1 and 11.47% for third quarter. In the same trend, also seeing that the full year that was released also dropped from 70.996 billion to 47.62 billion. Also in the same vein, also PAT also dropped from 20.55 billion to 10.17 billion. I can tell you that this represents by more than 30 to 20% decline on this occasion. It tells you that this company is struggling, and that's why this company is struggling. I will tell you that the share price since it got listed in 5 months has moved from more than 100%. But this stock got listed on exchange at 100 naira. As we speak now, it's sitting at 219. It tells you that something is made, and this is what investors should understand, that every investment is against the future. Now that we are seeing that personality and the structure of activities in terms of buying, if you look at this period that this was a rally, it is not really investor activity. This is a block buying from one hand to the other. I will tell you this, if not that in the market, we are becoming transparent. We say this is called manipulation, but because we are seeing buy side and seller side, we won't say so. But I'll tell you this is a block D. We are seeing. For that, if you are an investor, you need to be very careful because the company numbers are not looking good. Even as far going to the retained earnings to pay dividend, a company that has an earning per share of 4 naira 7 kobo and declaring a dividend of 8 naira, it says that the company is going to work to put down on its retained earnings, and retained earnings is also on a decline. This is a company retained earnings that also has declined from have declined to 47 point what point 87 billion. This tells you that this company is also struggling at but going to put your hand into your reserve to pay, and because this is your first dividend payment after listing the last 5 months, it's good to what investors should very careful, because what matters is that is the future. Every investment is against the future. If the numbers are declining for the last quarter 2023, 2022, and the full year, you have to be very careful. Until you also see the first quarter 2023, you also know where they are heading to. But I'll tell you, for those that are in this stock, you have to play with caution. But for investors that are really looking for dividend, want to not taking dividend once, and also if you look at the price is selling at almost 219 naira and a dividend of 8 naira, you also understand what is a dividend yield. You have to play with caution because we have seen that this kind of investment that that many investors will be hooked on it. And also, if you look at also this company, look at the company cash flow, I see that the cash flow is also declining seriously as we speak. Cash flows are moved as low as 7.8 billion from 26.45 billion in 2021. You need to understand all this so that when you are taking a decision, you know exactly what to do. That's why I need to tell you, what you should expect to see that these companies are good. That's why I gave you the first criteria at the beginning of this discussion. So that also if you look at the chart for this same company, the chart is not looking bad, and that's why I want to call this chart up for Geregu. You need to look at it and see also what is happening here. This is the chart for Geregu. You can see the chart on the daily chart. The chart is very good, looking good at this time. I can see a run up here in terms of appreciation. You can see this an uptrend here, and here you can see that it started to tell you that the stock is strong in terms of momentum, and price also will remain on this level before you can see another breakout. It was flat at the end of Friday's trading after moving toward 219 on Thursday and flat. You can also see that the situation you see the stocks are trending is just because of the nature of the stock and also the movement of the stock. But the good thing is that also look at the volume as it's going up. Volume was relating. So big volume here. It came down, went up. Look at this thing. It's very, very important. We quickly look at the chart on what on a weekly base to see. On a weekly chart, you can see that it's still very strong for investor. You can see it here, but I tell you that you have to put caution and also take profit already in there because I believe that the numbers will tell when it comes to what investing for the future is very, very important. Yes, we want to quickly look at what has also happened in what in in uh, in MTN. These are the numbers that are released to the market, so that we'll quickly look at them before we round up this class, this discussion at this hour. Here, if you look at for the stock of MTN, I will tell you, for a serious investor, you need to know what is happening in MTN, and I'll tell you, this is a company that will be the first in Nigeria market to hit 2 trillion revenue, which is a good one. And this stock got listed just 4 years ago on the that was in 2019, and since then the price has remained in the uptrend. It listed at around what around 90 naira, and you can see where the price is today because earnings has also constantly moved in up direction. I tell you that as a company earnings is moving, it's very also good for you to look at that earnings because it has a way also plan. It also support payout and all. That's why the good number was something investors were also considering to see because this is a company that has listed on the exchange. As soon as it got listed, it is below listing standard or that's that thing, and earnings has also been declining. You have to also be very careful. But for MTN, since it got listed, you can see that this company has what we call the CG Plus. It says that the corporate governance of this company is intact. That means best practice of corporate governance. These are the things you want to look at in the company. And not only that, you can see that the earnings of this company have been consistent, and the sector where it's operating is playing active. You can see, and also as we speak, yes, we know that utility is important, but the numbers also guide you because you are there to make money. Utility anywhere in the world, we know that yes, they make money, but we tell you the telecoms also companies and also especially as they are going to data are also driving the digital economy that we're expecting around the world. Today, most of business are done online. Can see that the market has moved to online, and to drive that online, you need data, and that I see that as their the core business is also is being also the data still also is also on the high side because of what because of the digital economy we are all running across the globe. I tell that there's potential for this company, and it has been how consistent this company has been since what since they got listed on the exchange. One thing is that this company has consistently grow its earnings, and also if you look at the shareholding structure of this company, about 27.17% is what in the hands of the investing public, and that of the you can see that I said is less than 5%. You can see this company is becoming more for me is more open to the public because the share is yes we know that about institutional investor or sorry the owners who are the MTN International has about almost 72 to 73%, while the left one is also in the hands of Nigerians. I believe that this is a good one, and that means about more than 25% float from this company. It's a good one for me to say yes, it will guide you where they are going. But if you look at the earnings of this company for the past 4 years, it has been an upgrade. The top line has moved from from 1.17 trillion to 3.1.35 trillion to 1.65 trillion to 2.01 trillion. You can see also the bottom line has moved in that direction. Like I said that I've shown the criteria that should look up the what I mentioned. But for what we're seeing now, is that this company earnings has become what attractive, and that is why it can support also dividend growth. But then you can see that they are growing their dividends since they listed on the exchange. The last dividend announced was about 10 naira for the final and also 5 naira 60 kobo for what for the interim. The previous year we saw 8 naira 46 kobo against 4 naira 68 kobo. You can see both. You can see that this company earnings as dividend has grown for this period, and also at the same time for what for the dividend. For me, this is a company that you should keep your eyes on, and also don't forget the company cash flow, the net operating cash flow of this company has also remained intact, moving up. As we speak now, the company net operating cash has moved toward to 565.89 billion against 561.36 billion in 2021. You can see that both the top line, the cash flow, the earnings, and that means sustainability of these earnings is high. And that's why, for me, I will tell you that investments again the future, not the past performance. If you are seeing factors that will drive this company's operating cash flow, I can see they are already into what more money money transfer business, MTN money business transfer. They also their 5G also active now in some states, who gradually will spread, and also the activities where they are, the demand for their services is increasing, and more will come as we go into the future. For me, this company have come to stay. That means we need to also take the organization. Yes, the yield of their last dividend announced, yeah, it's still a little small, but I'll tell you, it's above some 90 days, above the 90 days, 90 days and 180 days there, treasury bill yield. You need to look at all these things, and also you can use the FGN as well to protect your capital. And these are high cap stocks in the market that when they move, the market moves. Yes, Geregu is part of them, but we have to also be very careful because corporate governance is very key, and also company performance. And that's why when we are picking your stock in equity investment, you don't just pick your stock just because because of the name of the company alone. You want to pick your stock because of what they are doing and their activity. That's why those that are following investors, I'll tell you that if you want to pick stock, look at companies that are growing their earnings is on the rise, price on the rise, and volumes on the rise. That's why I said this three things must be evidence in that company that you are seeing volume on the rise, earnings on the rise, and price on the rise. That is the stock you should be in. And as well, when you see that there are prospects that will impact companies' price in up direction, and the company numbers are looking good, I'll tell you to sustain that company earning. But if you have an idea on how to use the chart, as I will also show you now, that will also be a plus for you. Quick one before round up was most of our time. I want to look at how MTN chart is also looking at, because you want to combine your fundamental and your technical to take investment decision. You want to look at what is happening in MTN as we speak, that you know exactly what to do with the stock of MTN. Yes, as we speak now, you can see this stock that is trading above what the T line here. You can see it here, and this is what a weekly chart to speak. And the momentum behind the stock is very, very strong. You can see all the way from here across the T line that remain in the up direction. I can see also where it has been coming from, up direction. It was few cases that sit below the T line. There's the green line here. For me, it's a good one for MTN. If you take MTN to a daily chart, it's a weekly chart. It will also show you a good sign of what of the company is doing well. Look at it technically, where the company is coming from. You can see above the T line, came down, start trend, also start trend. Now it's trading above the T line. You can see for the past 2 days now, you can see that the stock has been under as a result of what the announcement of what the company result. You can see how it is. But for that update, we can see the dynamics in equity investment. It's a company that posts a negative number, but you can see that the price is going up. That's why I said no personality behind the stock, and at the same time, the shareholding structure is very, very important. And that's all we can see that the movement there is not only as a result of retail investor. That this is a cross deal or a bulk buying between the people that know that these are also some of the inefficiencies in the market. Also, investors also have to grab with it. At the same time, you need to also invest. Well, that's why knowledge is key when it comes to investment. On this note, I would say enjoy your investing. Section as market open next week, for trading. And not only that, this will guide you, especially the first session of the discussion, to know a company number that are standing and what's also happening on the technical aspect of this company, so that you can effectively combine these to make informed decision. On this note, I say enjoy yourself and also invest wisely with knowledge and information. For more information, contact us on any of our platforms to get more details. And also, if you have not subscribed to the new bumper pack that people are enjoying for a year for 50K, in that pack you enjoy the stock signal from Invest Data, and at the same time also the live class Q&A, and where you can ask any question. Experts are there. Will bring guest speakers to come and tell us what's happening in the market, issue on how to invest. These are the things we do in that platform. And also any of our master class, also you have opportunity also to attend. For being a member, you have access to information, and when the master class comes, you also be aware so that you can be part of it and also join in the master class. It's very, very important. You can see that we continue to give our sell alert, buy alert, and when you come to that group, you get your buy alert, but the sell alert will come, so that you can also make take advantage of the market worth rallying now. I believe that the upside market will not remain there, but take advantage of it, make money, and wait for market pullback also to jump. There's always a cycle in the market. Take advantage of any cycle that comes with knowledge. See you and enjoy the rest of your week.